football for Friday has graced us once again with its presence, and we give big shout outs to all the guys who are in the live chat who are from Team USA, currently on their way to work, dropping in, saying hi, getting everything done, because of course the globe is spinning, so I heard. I read some different things online. But apparently there's a different time all over the place, and there's wonderful things happening everywhere. So when your Friday rocks up and your weekend begins, let's kick it off with a smile, with some drama time. I have in front of me one of the juiciest stories I've had in ages, and it's just fucking nightmare fuel. Absolute nightmare fuel. That is what is coming up for you today. I also have part 3 of our epic tale that has been told over the past 2 drama times, where our wonderful live audience and, of course, our YouTube audience are getting a special edited version so they have it all in a row, that has been going on with judgment and fury from all our viewers here as to what's going on. So we'll see the conclusion of that maybe if we have time at the end. It's a very short tale to see what's going on. Still guilty. Yeah, still guilty. Exactly. But it's been an awesome week as well. Not only did Dire Maul release in Classic World of Warcraft, which has been a ton of fun. Finally got my bow. Boom! 26 runs or something ridiculous. We finally got it. Only ever saw it drop once. No. Oh, I didn't mute it. Oh, God damn it. Dennis is going to shout at me. Dennis is going to shout at me. We managed to get the bow. We only ever saw it once, and luckily I managed to get it. Thank God. Thank God that managed to happen. And of course, if you've been following on the YouTube channel, you will know the raid testing has been up for patch 8.3. We have got to see some of our new raid bosses, and they all look solid. They all look really good. No Blackwater Behemoths, no Radiances of Ashara. Is this a fucking crock? Fuck off. You all know I'm doing drama. Shut the fuck up. God damn it, man. Everybody fucking... Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Send all the messages. Send all the messages. So nothing looks shitty so far. Actually looks pretty good. Some more information was dropped about 8.3. I'm going to have out to you over the weekend, expanding on this mandatory content and legendary cloak. And I also got to test out the new special rings that are available in a raid test environment. So I'll have some more info for you for what's happening in retail over the weekend. So that's what's going to be happening there. Now, I do want to talk about something a little serious. Can we get serious for a minute? Because it's something we never talk about. In fact, I don't think I've ever brought it up on the channel at all. Until this week, during one of the streams that I mentioned, that drama time, one of the things that keeps me going with drama and keeps it very enjoyable for me, and why I love doing drama time, is BlizzCon, because BlizzCon is coming up. This is how the conversation got started. At BlizzCon, probably like 5 years ago, my first ever BlizzCon, I met a lovely lady who told me that she watched drama time while she was having her chemotherapy done for her cancer treatment. And I was like, oh, really? And then from that, after I think I mentioned it at the time, a huge amount of people got in contact with me who do something similar. Is drama time is what they listen to while they're having to go through these awful treatments. Now, I hadn't spoke about it for about 4 years, something like that, until this week, when once again I was kind of sent a big load of messages from people who are in a similar situation, dealing with something difficult and having drama time to get through that. So from that, and from everybody here, hopefully, we wish you all the best, because I do know that takes place. I didn't know. I didn't know until the first person kind of broke through the ice, is that's what they do. So we do wish you all the best. If you are in that scenario and drama time is something that helps you get through that, I truly appreciate it. And I like our email chains that we have going with those people. It is something I do in my private time. It's not something I like to put out on the channel, because obviously we're here to have a smile and have fun. So that's something that came up and people were like, yep, that's me. I am in that scenario. So we do wish you all the best. Now then, let's get on to some fun. So I just mentioned at the start of the show, we have some interesting ones here. Oh man, this poor fucking guy. This poor fucking guy. God damn, man. God damn. So we're going to kick off with this one because it's just too juicy for me to sit on and keep you waiting. So we are looking for love. Don't worry, it's not going the way you think. In the wrong places. And some of you might have some ideas as to where those wrong places might be. Thank you, Wireless Keyboard, for giving me 2 E's. Oh, it's slightly too big. Let's go for love in the wrong places. That works for me. Perfect. Okay. We need... we need a girl. We need a girl, don't we? We're going with a Boomkin Burger. You could be our lady today. At the gym? Actually, the gym is a terrible place. A recent study found that, and I was surprised. You know who gets upset that they don't find love at the gym? The girls. The girls get upset by it. Men are too focused in the gym. Not there for fucking pouring with sweat and lifting shit from the floor and up. That's all we're there to do. We're trying to get girls outside that. Well, I'm not, but you get the idea. Not in the gym itself, right? Not in the gym itself. Yeah, the girl's pissed that the lads are focused on themselves in the gym rather than them in the yoga pants. Big surprise. Unless they're a perv. Unless they're a perv, which is probably not the kind of person you're after anyway. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go. Mr. Preacher. Hello, sir. I just discovered your YouTube channel at the start of Battle for Azeroth, but I'm a huge fan. Team USA represent. Drama Time is one of my favorite series to listen to at work, and I realized today that I have a pretty juicy story for you in the chat that happened to me. You're normally very good about protecting the identities of those involved. Yes, it is a key #1 rule of Drama Time is we do not expose people. It has happened, but basically because people who are involved in the story recognize the story. That's the nature of the beast. But names and stuff, we never reveal those. Please, for the love of God, do not mention my name on stream. I never have, and I never will. I never have in like 4 years of making the show, and I never will. Don't worry. As a matter of fact, read through it before. Here's the warning that'll get you guys ready. Read through this one before going live. It strays dangerously close to territory you may not want to be associated with. Motherfucker, I am demonetized. We're good. We are golden. Hey, we've had dog fucking and all sorts on this show. We've been down some weird paths. Let me tell you that. I'm good. I'm good. I'm safe. Community looks after me. The other guys do not. You have been warned. Okay. My story takes place in the Burning Crusade. After hearing people at school rant and rave about the game for over a year, my best friend and I finally took the plunge and downloaded. Like many poor, broke 16-year-olds, get a job, man. You're 16. You don't need to be broke at 16. You can work at 16. You can work at... I started work at 11, yeah? Paperboy, yeah? Big paperboy. Had myself a bicycle, the whole business. You know what I mean? Get that shit going. But we could not afford retail. We went to the private servers. My friend rolled a troll hunter, and I, being a weeby edgelord, rolled a blood elf rogue named, I'll let the chat decide, something weeby and edgy. Weeby and edgy. We immediately fell in love with WoW, and over the next few months we raced to level 70. I still have fond memories of hunting tigers and raptors. Loladan Bloodfur, God. Have fun with that one. I still have fond memories of hunting tigers and raptors alongside Nessingwary in the jungles of Stranglethorn, or dropping everything to trek across the world at the behest of a mysterious princess called Misriel, trapped in the Arathi Highlands. Nothing will even compare to the feeling of stepping through the dark portal and gazing out across the fiery, shattered landscape of Hellfire Peninsula for the first time. WoW was everything we had dreamed it would be, and more. Yes, indeed. One of the biggest things I'm looking forward to for our next expansion is good, fantastical zones, please, Blizz. Like you did in the Burning Crusade, like you did in Wrath of the Lich King. All right? It's a fantasy game. Let's just have wackiness, right? I'm okay with Shadowlands, but if it's all purple, I'll be pissed, dude. The guys at school were always going on and on about endgame content and raiding. So when we finally hit level 70, we began the search for a guild. Our timing couldn't have been better. Wrath of the Lich King was being made. A ton of people were leaving our sleepy little private server in favor of retail World of Warcraft. This created vacancies in raid teams that had to be filled. We looked our way into one of the better guilds on the server, along with a handful of other recruits. And over the next few weeks, our new raid team began the long and arduous process of gearing up us newbies and helping us unlock our attunements. Enter Boomkin Burger. Like me and my friend, Boomkin Burger was a fresh level 70. At the time, we were the only rogues in the guild, so the two of us immediately hit it off. I was eager to prove myself to the guild and immediately went, try hard, full try hard. spending hours researching fights, rotation, stat priorities. I knew my mastery from my crit. Boomkin Burger took a more casual approach, let's say, to the game, but regularly sought out my advice on how to be better. It wasn't long before we was thick as thieves, constantly talking shit about other guildies and snickering over inside jokes via whisper. One evening, the guild was shooting the shit in Ventrilo after a long night in Serpent Shrine Cavern. Our new raid group had just downed Lady Vash for the first time. Spirits were high. The gang was feeling rowdy. Someone made a particularly funny joke, and as the laughter died down, we heard something strange. A high-pitched giggle. Clearly belonging, this is gross, but nobody says this, by the way, clearly belonging to a member of the fairer sex. Why do you live in Victorian England? The fairer sex? What the fuck, bro? Why do you live in Victorian England? I don't get it. Up until now, we had all assumed that our raid was a total sausage fest. After all, girls don't play video games. Nobody could pinpoint the giggle. Who was the giggler? Our thirsty members started to sniff. They started to hunt. They could smell it somewhere. They started interrogating each other to find the owner. The previous conversation was put on complete pause for minutes as the guild tried to get the bottom of the... No one was owning up. No one could work out the giggle. Except for me. You see, Mike, I was a bit of a fucking baller back then. Not only was I cool as shit as Rogue, but I had 2 monitors. Oh, yeah. And on my second screen, I had Ventrilo running. And I saw that mic icon light up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I waited until things died down and everyone went their separate ways before sending Boomkin Burger the big whisper. Was that you? Are you a girl? A minute or so passed in silence. And then... Yes. ... colon, blush, ... We have ourselves a weeb. We have a weeb alert! Weeb alert! Code red! We have a weeb alert! We are emoting instantaneously. We are in full-on emote territory. Alright, stay calm, lads. For all we know, this is his jam. Alright? Boomkin Burger made me promise. Don't tell anyone. Except for my friend. Because they were RL friends. She didn't want the guild judging her. Treating her differently due to her gender. I told her, it'll be our little secret. Oh, yeah. And we moved on. True to my word, I never told a soul about Burger. She and I were as close as ever. More so, in fact. She felt like she could only really be herself around me and my friend. As we worked our way through Hyjal and Black Temple, our friendship took on a flirty vibe. She was 16, and she lived about an hour and a half away from my friend. As a matter of fact, we were reasonably close to each other. We traded numbers. Soon we were texting each other non-stop. And after a few weeks, we swapped pics. No nudes! No nudes. And I was smitten. Let me describe her for you, gents. She was just my type. Long. Does that mean tall? She's long. she's a long girl. Oh, yeah. Long. I've never heard anyone describe someone as long in my entire life. Long. She's long. Dirty blonde hair, bright green eyes, and a smattering of freckles across her nose. I thought I was in love. Apparently my picture had a similar effect on her, as she sent me, and I quote to you guys, I'm talking to you live audience, I quote to you, this was her reply, hubba hubba, heart emoji, with 3 threes. Hubba hubba. All right? Hubba hubba. Wow. Wow. Things escalated from there. I never officially asked her out or anything. You know what I mean? Never officially asked her out. We were in what was essentially a full-blown relationship. Now, a disclaimer pops up here. But I will come back to it. We'll come back to it. A few months passed. There's a disclaimer at this point. A few months passed. Boomkid and I talked and texted constantly. If we weren't playing WoW together, we were on our phones. We had floated the idea of meeting up for my 17th birthday, but we just couldn't get our schedules to line up. The busy schedules of 16 and 17-year-olds, right? Fucking hell. Oh, I'm real busy right now. I'm real busy. You've no idea. The guild eventually cleared Hyjal and Black Temple, leaving us with one last raid, of course. The Sunwell Plateau. Wrath of the Lich King was looming ahead in the near future. When it launched, we were going to lose several members of the raid, so we had to get fucking serial. It had taken our group longer than expected to get past the Illidari Council and Illidan, and it was clear that a few of our raiders were struggling. Unfortunately, one of the names that was now on the chopping block for a raid spot was Boomkid. Despite my best efforts, she still only could use 2 buttons, which were Hemorrhage and Eviscerate. She would say things like, I don't see the point in using Slice and Dice, or Rupture, as it doesn't do much damage. Eviscerate hits way harder. Science, actually. You guys are fucking stupid, honestly. You guys are absolutely fucking stupid. After 2 straight nights of wiping on Brutalis, it was clear some things had to be made. Some changes were in the works. Berger and a few others were benched. As I'm sure you can imagine, it didn't sit well with her. She was understandably pissed about having to sit out, given she'd been raiding non-stop since the start. But even worse was the fact that I had become less and less responsive to her messages when I was raiding. Because she was benched, she had nothing better to do. So she would start texting me and PMing me constantly. And then got annoyed that my slow responses or one-word replies were making her angry. Classic. Absolutely classic. I know, rude, honestly. Rude, honestly. Well, I'm not raiding, so I'm just going to spam you with PM so you better reply. She became increasingly possessive and jelly until raid nights became a living hell for me. After a couple of weeks of this, I decided I was going to lay down the law. Sheriff's badge on. I called her and told her, look, woman, I'm sorry you're benched, but I'm not benched, so I need to focus when I'm raiding. My performance is going to get shit, and I'll get benched too if I'm always replying to you when I'm raiding. We talk constantly. Is it too much? Okay, this is the line that's always going to get you in trouble, regardless of context. Is it too much to ask for a few hours of peace and quiet each week? Oof. Oof. Oh, God. ... If that's what you want. Okay. You're not mad, are you? You understand? Nope. Not mad. Are you sure? Yup. Have a good night. Enjoy your game. You died. I need that sound effect. I need that. I'm going to set that up. I didn't hear from her for 8 days. I didn't hear from her for 8 days. Now, I'm ashamed to admit that her cold shoulder treatment drove me a little crazy. Berger had successfully convinced me that I was the bad guy and I owed her an apology. Maybe I did, I don't know. Only for the last line. The last line's never going to get you anywhere. When I realized that I had pissed her off, I apologized to her via text about 20 times. I tried calling her a couple of times a day, and when she didn't pick up, I would leave long emo voicemails. Oh, it's so sad. No, dude. Oh, he's going down the well. Nothing. No reply. I didn't even see her online for the entire week. You must understand, fellas. Berger wasn't my first girlfriend, but I was truly and utterly convinced she was the one. And my dumb ass had screwed it up. Over what? A video game? Was it just a video game? Is that why I lost her? I don't know. By the time next week's raid rolled around, I was a total mess. A week ago, I was on my phone every few minutes responding to a text. Now I was checking my phone to make sure I hadn't missed a call or something. Finally, during one of our fell-missed pulls, my phone rang. I'm not answering it. You should have offered the shit out of it, dude. Not answering it. I'm going to get mind controlled. Fuck that noise. My phone rang. I didn't even have to look at my phone to know it was her. I'm so sorry I have to read this to you all. I'm so sorry to you. I really am. The live people here and those watching on YouTube, I'm so sorry I'm about to read this line. I didn't have to look at my phone to know it was her. At her request, I had set her ringtone to Nickelback's This Is How You Remind Me. Oh, God. My heart skipped a beat and dropped everything to answer her call. Probably wiping the raid in the process. Gross. That's gross. This would turn out to be the last pull I ever shared with that guild. Nothing could prepare me for what was about to go down. So he picks up the phone. That means the end of Nickelback, right? So we can all rejoice in the fact that the Nickelback song has stopped. Boomkin was crying. She told me she was in the hospital. She told me that after our fight, she had gone back to her abusive, apparently, ex-boyfriend. She told me things were fine for a couple of days, but after a bit, he started acting like a dick again. She told me she tried leaving him a few times, but he wouldn't let her out. And she told me that when she finally blocked his number and got home, he had driven to her house and shot her. Now, chat, and he's speaking directly. This is his words. He's speaking directly to you. Chat, if your bullshit sensors are going off yet, can confirm. Good! They should be! Good! That is the correct response. As I type this to you, I still cannot fucking believe that I actually believed this story. But the promise of pussy had blinded me to the multiple red flags going on in the back of my mind. I loved her. But we're not finished yet. This is about to get way worse. Way, way worse. As you can tell, I bought into Boomkin's story, hook, line, and sinker. I excused myself from the raid and logged off, ready to comfort her. I had so many questions. Are you okay? Where were you shot? How did your ex get a gun? And I swear to you all, one of the questions I asked her because she was in hospital was, what could I help by doing her Netherwing dailies for her? What a fucking bro! What a fucking bro! Oh my god! What a fucking bro! That's a man who's got your back. If he's ready to do dailies for you, marry him straight away. What a gent. You got shot? Wait a minute. That probably means you can't do your dailies. Do you need me? I'm all over it. I'm all over it. I'm all over it. Boomkin told me that the bullet had grazed her arm and nothing vital had been hit. The doctors said she would be okay. She just had to wear a cast for a couple of days. I admit, it seemed completely reasonable to me at the time. I mean, why wouldn't you wear a cast for a gunshot wound? This poor motherfucker. Oh my god. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Is there anything I could do to help? That's all I asked. Is there anything I could do to help? She said all she wanted in the whole world was to see me. She was scared. She missed me. She's sorry for all the drama over the last week. She wants nothing more than to curl up in my arms and forget anything ever happened. And I didn't need more convincing than that. I had to find a way. I must visit her and I must sort it out now. Nothing else mattered. The problem was, I'm 17, I've got a learner's permit and no car. I needed to find a ride. The next day at school, I spoke to my friend I had started WoW with. I didn't tell him the whole story, probably because deep down a part of me realised it was bullshit. Just that an emergency had come up and I needed to visit Berger. As luck would have it, he and his mom were planning a trip to visit Grandma nearby, and I was welcome to join them. Victory. Victory. I called Boomkin to let her know the good news. I was so excited. I didn't notice the note of apprehension in her voice as she gave me her address once I confirmed I could actually see her. I hardly slept that night. I spent the entire drive there rehearsing the jokes I was going to charm her with, fantasizing about different ways to go for our first kiss. My phone was strangely quiet during the drive, but it didn't bother me. Nothing could. I was about to see my girl, the girl of my dreams. I was going to be her knight in shining armor, and after I would sweep her off her feet, she would never be afraid of that crazy ex ever again. Sure, we were too young to get married right now, but in the future, in a couple of years, we would have a beautiful wedding in the mountains, I thought. This is so 16 and 17, it hurts. What a fucking loser. Hey, we were all fucking losers at that age. Don't lie. Don't lie. We were all fucking losers. We were all fucking losers at that age. Don't you sit there on your throne of bullshit pretending you were all like, oh yes. I know she wanted to live closer to the city. If I saved up, I could probably find us a nice apartment downtown with a view of the sunset. Not too deep downtown, mind you. Probably on the outskirts of the city proper. It would be quieter that way for the eventual kids. Oh, dude. Fucking hell. Before I knew it, we were pulling up to her house. I texted her. Just about to get there. See you soon. She immediately texts back, in all caps, "Don't park in front of the house! There's a park down the block. Wait for me and I'll meet you there." Even my friend and his mother were side-eyeing me at this point. I like that, side-eyeing. Whatever, what do they know? They're not in love like I am. I got dropped off at the park and nervously paced around for a few minutes before I spot a blonde girl in a giant baggy sweater walking towards me. My heart in my throat. I sauntered over as casually as I could with my heart beating out of my chest to meet my lady. It actually says that, by the way. I just want to clarify. I'm going to paste this in the chat. He actually said my lady. Like, no bullshit. That's I just copy-pasted. That's straight out of the line. The introduction, it wasn't as awkward as you might expect, but after a quick hug, I did start to notice some differences. Something was off about Boomkin. She wasn't long. There was also no cast or slings or bandages or anything indicating she might have been fucking shot earlier that week. Additionally, there were some looks differences. Her hair was a few shades lighter, she didn't have any freckles, and she had braces. The voice was right, though. This was definitely the girl I had been spending hours on the phone with. We walked around the park for a while, making small talk. When I asked about her arm, she blushed and told me I may have exaggerated a bit to get me to come and visit her. She hoped I wasn't mad. If you're not counting, by the way, our author has put in that this was red flag number 9. Red flag number 9. I'm not mad, I told her. I'm just glad you're okay. And mustering up my courage, I reached out to hold her hand. She smiled and did that hug your arm hand-holding thing that kids do. At the time, I thought it was adorable. Knowing how this story ends, I am cringing so hard it physically hurts. We strolled through the park like that for an hour or two, talking about school, WoW, relationships and whatnot. As the sun crept towards the horizon, I mentioned that my ride will be back soon and I had to go. Boomkin pulled out her pink phone, checked the time and gasped. She looked panicked and I caught a glimpse of about 8 unread messages from Daddy. Shit, she said. I have to go. As she began to leave, I looked into her eye. I said, okay. When I moved away, she was panicked. This was fun, she said, but I really have to go fast. Bye. She ran off towards her home, and after a few steps, she stopped and shouted back, by the way. Oh, she stopped and shouted back. By the way, don't answer your phone or any texts you see from me for the rest of the day. I ask you, chat, this is him speaking to you guys. Is this enough red flags yet? Because I've now lost count. I was on cloud 9 though. I had some time to kill before my ride showed up, so I walked around a few more laps of the park, replaying the highlights of the first meeting, not questioning all the glaring problems that happened. And after about 10 minutes, I got the feeling that I wasn't alone. I looked over my shoulder and saw a man on the path a few hundred yards behind me. I had a tough time making out his features, but I could tell he was tall, had dark blonde hair, and judging by his pace, was pissed. The sirens in my head were practically blaring at this point. I tried thinking of ways to lose the dude, but came up short. There were no side roads I could take to lose him, and he would catch me in a straight sprint. My only chance was to act casual and hope he was walking past me. Dumb idea, but it's literally all I could come up with at the time. A tall, scary man followed me at a distance and to a busy crossroad. As I was stuck waiting for the light to change, he closed the distance before us and stood next to me. Side by side, he was even taller than I thought, standing a solid foot over me. And dude was fucking jacked. Dude looked like he hit the gym 8 days a week. All I could think is, fuck's sake, as I tried to avoid eye contact as he glared at me. He pulled out the same phone that Boomkin had and dialed a number. Right next to him, Chad Kroger's lyrical diarrhea started to spew out. Scary guy looks at me as my phone is blaring out Nickelback. Arthur? Yeah? What the fuck have you been doing with my daughter? We met online. We were just met for the first time. All the time with Nickelback blaring in the background. Do you know she's under 16? No. I said, no. Bricks were shut! I couldn't speak, I couldn't think, I couldn't breathe, I didn't have to. The look on my face told me that Boomkin's dad was telling the fucking truth, and it was everything I needed to know. He grabbed me by the shoulder and walked me over to a bench. He said we needed to talk. I'll be honest, the next few minutes were a complete blur. I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but I know it could have been much worse. Mr. Boomkin was sat And I told him everything. How I thought his daughter was 16. How he met through WoW. How I thought she was 16. Why I was in town. How I fucking thought she was 16 because she told me she was fucking 16. He was surprisingly understanding. And as I explained the situation, he looked less angry and more just sad and disappointed. When I finished my tale, he nodded and even offered to give me a ride to where my friend and his mum would be. It was a long and silent walk back to his house. But on the way there, he opened up a bit. He explained it's not the fucking first time she's done this shit. A year ago, she had done something similar through MySpace. Oh, bam! Bam! Straight through MySpace. Except the last guy that had turned up at his home was in his mid-20s. And he had to kick him out. She lost all phone and internet privileges for a year. And had only just earned them back at the beginning of the school year. He told me he had been ready to kick my ass until he saw that I, too, was just a kid. He had already pieced together most of what had happened going through her text history, and my story confirmed all of it, that it was true. The pictures she had sent me were of her older sister, and I remind you all, no nudes were received, ladies and gentlemen, no nudes. And he didn't blame me for being duped. He was actually very nice to me given the circumstances. We pulled up to where my mum and friend were. I apologized again. I shook his hand, saying he blames himself more than anyone else. I hopped out of his truck and went to close the door, but he stopped me. He said, and by the way, I said, yeah. If you ever talk to my daughter again, then there will be actual trouble. As he said this, he pulled his shirt up a bit, revealing that he did have a gun with him. Are we clear? He said. I said, yes. I said, yes, very clear. Yes, this is clear. Okay, understood. Understood. Good. Stay out of trouble. I never ever spoke with Boomkin again. What a surprise. I never ever spoke with Boomkin again. I blocked her number, all social media accounts, deleted my WoW account, and completely abandoned the private server. A few months later, my friend and I would start new accounts on retail to raid Wrath of the Lich King together. My friend still memes me about my relationship to this day. Oh, he's never letting that go. There's no fucking way in the world that guy's letting that story go. Every guild you join, he's telling that story. Every single fucking guild you join. Everybody you ever meet, he's telling that fucking story. Because that story is fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. Thinking about this story makes me want to curl up and die. My only consolation is that you and your chat might find it entertaining. I think we did. Sorry for the length. I've tried to cut it down as much as possible without leaving out any of the important details. Man out. So the disclaimer he gave us earlier in the story, which would have kind of revealed the end of the story. Disclaimer in big caps lock. I want to pause the story and explain extremely clearly that while we were flirting with each other, not once did we exchange any explicit sexual images or nude photos. The reason for this disclaimer will become apparent shortly. So that was the disclaimer that was earlier in the story from our man. Jabated. Literal jabation. Was the story there. The literal jabation. No lies. Especially, she would have to find, realistically, she would have to get dirty pictures of her sister for it to even work. So he's got that going for him. He's got that going for him. He's got that going for him. He's good. All right. God damn. I liked the apartment with the sunset view. I thought that was a nice touch. The apartment with a sunset view was where it was going to be. Oh, yeah, he asks for the sister's number? Motherfucker. Motherfucker. All right. Just to end the trilogy. I think we owe it to our author as we have given him the full treatment on the channel. You guys have been very unkind, actually. Very, very unkind. You guys have been very, very unkind. I feel like you guys know him as well as anyone else at this point. The names aren't listed at the start, so it's... okay. Not this nub again. All right, okay. Hello again, preacher. And hello again, live audience. Hi. At this time, I'm pretty sure you won't read this story after the last two. But a good story must always end in a trilogy. Unless, of course, you're Disney and want to kill everything you possibly can for all of us nerds who loved that galaxy far, far away. You're a Star Wars nerd. Now it all makes sense. Trek is the way forward. Okay. Give up on Luke and his fucking shiny lipstick. Give it up. But I have one more story for you. And I titled it How I Feel a Good Third Story Should Be, summing up everything perfectly. Your audience claimed everything I said was a lie. So, this story is le proof. Or at least I'm going to try with the confirmation of the very girl who had to give me CPR. If I can't and forget to delete this part, chat, feel free to continue to doubt. In fact, why don't you all press X for doubt? But I swear to you, it is true. Anyway. You guys are so hard to... You're so hard. You're very skeptical, a lot of you. You really are the most skeptical people on the internet. We've attracted the skeptics. We've attracted the skeptics. That's you lot. This story will take place during my senior year. How old is senior year? 17? Something like that. And include a lady, a fail, drunkenness, and pants. As well as me almost dying again. So our friend, as we know from other stories, has a habit of nearly dying. It's a strange habit to have, I admit. It's a strange habit to have, but he lives an interesting life. I do not get to view your stories live because I do have to be in bed early. This is where the X comes from. It is, but it might be true. I do have to be in bed early, as you know. Mother and father are both gone, and I have to take care of my sister, who has autism and wakes up at 5 a.m. my time every single day. So I'm only able to rub my eyes and sit down for a giggle from my stories and listen to you laugh and doubt me at every turn. Now, I do admit to something. I played every single sympathy card I had, and that shit was pathetic. It was overdone. We all agree. We turbo guilty. It was overdone. You did play every single hand you had in that second story. You played everything you had. But every second part of a trilogy has to pull people back in when the first fails. Before my tale begins, I am actually allergic to inhaling smoke from cigarettes, and I presume weed, but I haven't tried it, as it does cause me to black out and have seizures or something. I still with to this day. It's not just weed itself that did that to me. I left that part out on accident. How does that work? Because you naturally walk into smoke, right? Anyway, so here it is. The final story, as with all others. Chat, this is 100% true. I swear it. Okay. He swears it. He swears it. He swears it. All right, let's have Alfred. It's the final story. Hey, suspend your disbelief. It's the final one. My friend Alfred and I were out driving about. He's actually the friend who I had injured in the car wreck where I died. Remember, he had the car crash where he died, technically? We decided we were hungry AF and pulled into a place called the number one... I'm going to say it wrong. I'm just going to say gyro shop, right? The Greeks call it something else. The Americans call it something else. I'm just going to say gyro. It was titled the number one gyro shop. Who couldn't stop at the number one? Yeah, I say hero. And other people say hero, add noise to it. You call it whatever you want. Who couldn't stop at the number one? I mean, come the fuck on. Big sarnies. Besides this place being in the classic hood area, we stopped hoping for that good Oriental food we both enjoyed, and boy, did I get it. Standing there at the counter to this day, the most beautiful girl I'd ever met, I had ever seen. Definitely my type. Okay, we're getting a full description again. Long again. She's long again. Taller than average, thin black hair, beautifully tan skin, and bright brown eyes with a perfect smile. Where do you guys get these, like, requirements from? Is there a list that you guys build? Where do you guys get these? I have dated a lot of girls, and nearly every single one of them has been different. Where do you get these lists from? I don't get it. A girl BIS list? Is there a BIS list? Do you sim this data or what? Porn? I should have asked. Of course it's on porn. I'm sure you're all Googling like tall, brown-eyed girl when you're looking for porn, right? That's what you're looking for in the search bar. That's what you're typing in. Long. Any long girls in the search bar. Oh, she works there. She asked if she could take my order. I read these with you guys, by the way. I haven't read through this. I read these for you guys because it's all part of the fun for me. Long, brown-eyed girl. She asked if she could take my order, and my mouth went dry as the desert itself. God, your life's so epic. Everything you do is just like fucking... Jesus. My buddy started ordering like no problem, like a normal person. And I was amazed at how he could even manage. How can you even speak to this girl? Look at her. Gaze upon her longness. How can one order a sandwich to such a girl? She turned to me and smiled, and I swear, preacher, I just about passed out. Now, all of you are probably cringing in chat, but boys, I'm telling you, she was amazing with no G. Amazing. The only thing I could possibly think of was, can I have your number? And it fell out of my mouth like a ton of bricks. And right now, and I'm telling you guys, she said no. Smiled and asked if I wanted some food, though. I was defeated, but I ordered like a boss. You're buying a sandwich. You don't order a sandwich like a boss. Fucking extra lettuce, extra sauce, double meat, yeah? Sort it out. Like a boss. You know what I'm saying? I kept my composure. I got this. Grabbed my sack of greasy lamb and left. Devastated. I reached into the bag to grab me some meat, pun intended, and I shit you not, right there on the little restaurant receipt was one of those cheap boys the Chinese buffet gives away to you. And right under my order was her number. I nabbed that shit as fast as fuck, spilling my gyro all over Elford's car. He's fucking gross, bro. As I heard him bitching, I typed that fucker into my phone, acted like a true beta, skipping the 3-day rule. What's the 3-day rule? The fuck is that? Hell, I skipped the 3-minute rule and I texted her a big, fucking, solid, alpha, meaty, hey, it's me. Yeah, if you spill a fucking kebab in my car, you are getting fucked up, honestly. That smell ain't coming out forever. Fuck that noise. Hey, it's me. Dude, no. Wait 3 days before you call? Nobody believes in this 3-day rule, right? If someone gives you their number, that's because they want to speak to you. You don't wait 3 days. I don't know what that is. That's fucking weird. That's really weird. I don't know where you've heard that. That sounds like you saw that in an American Pie movie and considered it legit. Don't do that, right? It's law. It's law. No, just text people. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's all good. Now, I know what you're thinking. Smooth as fuck, right? No, nobody's thinking that. But still. Nope. She didn't reply for hours. She's working. You know where she is. What do you expect her to do? you can see her. She's at the counter. What the fuck did you expect to happen? I was sulking around with my buddy Alfred when I realized I know why she hasn't replied. Oh, okay. He's sussed it out. It's not what we were thinking. It's because she has no idea who me is. That's what it is. So I texted her with the guy. I'm the guy from the shop today. Gave her my name. Here. And she did respond. saying she thought maybe it was, but didn't want to reply unless she knew. We hit it off immediately. And knowing there was a party at my friend's house, I invited her that night, and she said yes. Now, I wish I could tell you I alpha mailed that shit and kept texting her pushing a Chad agenda. What's a Chad agenda? Where did you pick up these words? Where did you get any of these words from? The Chad agenda? But I just left it there. Okay, he's playing it smooth. No Chad agenda, right? No Chad agenda. We got this. I asked if she needed to be picked up. She said she would just be dropped off and picked up since she knew there would be drinking, even though I told her I'm not going to drink. She's getting fucked up. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm drinking. Yeah, we've got a party tonight. I'm not drinking, though. All right, well, I am. I'm getting fucking hammered. I understood. I waited by the door for her to pull up. All my other friends were playing beer pong downstairs, and I could hear their laughter as she pulled up. Jumping out of the car, she closed the door, and I flew open the door, not even giving her the chance to text me. And I instantly said, I was waiting for you. That's not creepy. That's fine. I'm waiting for you. He does say, instantly, I realized I'd said something creepy. But she smiled and said, thank you. All right, he clocked it at least. At least he had that self-awareness. He clocked it. She thanked me for not making her wait outside awkwardly. So we talked a little bit on the porch. I warned her about whose party it was. Oh, we actually need a Chad. We need a Chad. Who's going to be our Chad? Let's oh yeah, Moses. Fucking Moses. I warned her about Moses. I've lost my place. I warned her about Moses and his tendency to get naked when he was drunk. And we need another Chad. So Moses just fucking whips it out for the lads. Whips it out. Let's have Aaron. And Aaron. What's his thing? And Aaron being overly competitive at beer pong. She laughed and she had said she had never been to a party, and I told her it's not like the movies and led her inside. Once downstairs in the basement, we walked into beer pong in play and people screaming, Arthur! And ooh, she is hot! The boys were always trying to get under my skin. Bit of bants going on at the beer pong. Yeah, mate, that's some fine woman you've just brought in. Nobody says that, but sure. I laughed it off and grabbed her hand and whispered to her, if you feel awkward or pressured at any point tonight, let me know and I'll get you out of here. She quickly ran up to the beer pong table, grabbed one of the beers and drank it. And the group yelled, party foul! And laughed as we filled it back up for the fairness of the game. After a while of us playing other people at the party, booted up Injustice on the PlayStation. Oh, shit, it's about to pop off. Beer pong done. Injustice time. Now, Preacher and chat. I've never liked fighting games. Shit, I'm going to get pwned. She's going to think I'm a noob. But it's okay. Our author has been blessed with the skills of an up-and-coming god at fighting games. And when I was being challenged, my sandwich girl and I went over. And I won. I destroyed my competition while she watched. Eventually, someone asked her if she wanted to try, and she said yes. Sat down, looked me right in the eye, and said, I'm going to destroy you. My dick almost flew out of my pants. Right then. And then they're so hard it could have bounced around the room like a bouncy ball. Fucking, she's so hot at Injustice. We sat there and I picked Poseidon. And she picked Takei, I guess. Oh, and she picked, take a guess, chat, Harley fucking Quinn. Now, I'm not joking when I say she wasn't bad at the game, but still, she was no match for me. I did indeed let her win like a true gentle sir. She jumped up screaming that I was trash. And everyone laughed as I had been undefeated till that point. She went on to lose to about half of the players that night as we were playing on it. The rules were, if you win, you got to keep going situation. The party died down, and yes, as you can imagine, Moses got naked, like always, and then went to sleep under the ping pong table while looking for a ping pong ball. And as the night drew near, she said she had to go. Her ride had arrived. I walked her outside and got that sweet porch kiss with plans of seeing each other the next day. So the next day came, and boy, did we hang out. I brought her over to the house and we sat on the couch, and pretty soon it got hot and heavy. We sat there kissing on and off between episodes of America's Funniest Home Videos. Good choice. Nothing says good date like America's Funniest Home Videos, which actually aren't that funny. Just a universal I don't know why you like, so I'm a put on this TV show in America. Hey, no, it's good, man. It's good. If you invite a girl over, crack on some America's Funniest Home Videos, guaranteed sex. Everybody's so bored, there's nothing else to do. It's smart, actually. It's a big brain play. At the end of one of our kissing sessions, she looked at me and said, can we do something besides kiss? Now, preach and chat. I know what you're thinking at this point. Do you? Do you really? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. This piece of shit got his dick wet from a beautiful girl. And boy, do I... That's not what I was thinking. You were incorrect. And boy, do I wish I could tell you that my smooth response was, all right, get naked. But no. In my head, what I heard was, oh, she isn't enjoying America's Funniest Home Videos. Maybe we should order a pizza and put something else on. Okay, that's might actually be the truest thing I've read today in this story. That might actually be the truest thing I ever read today. Big true, honestly. Massive trueness going on right there. So that's what I offered. I said, would you like to order a pizza then? She awkwardly went, well, yeah, and kind of sat up for the rest of the night as we ate pizza. We laughed at some bad videos and went to sleep. She woke me up we woke up around 4 a.m. with her shaking me wildly, telling me that her parents would be outraged if I was there. So, outraged if she didn't go home. So we jumped up and I drove her home. Dropping her off, she said she had fun and kissed me before jumping out. And walking up to her door, there was a very angry man waiting for her. Gave me a death look and slammed the door. I never heard from her again. That was it. Devastated. At Moses' next party a few weeks later, I went full on the alcohol, playing 8 rounds of Pong in a row, losing about half, and sipping on some whiskey in between, mingling with the girls, pretending, while trying to pretend she wasn't on my mind. Now, remember the time I died? We do remember the time you died. Well, ironically, I could have actually died again. And here's why. Being so drunk and just watching Moses piss in a bucket and falling over. What's going on at Moses' house? Knocking over all the tools in the garage. I decided I needed to piss as well. Well, I'm not going to piss in the bucket, so I did the only thing I could think of. I walked outside to write my name in the snow. So I did. I wobbled outside, laughing at Moses, and pissed some terrible cursive in the snow. After that, I took a deep breath in the cold and decided I'm tired. I took a few steps to the side, fell in the snow, feeling nice cold snow on my t-shirt and shorts and my bare legs and arms. I decided to go to sleep because it was nice and cool. That is absolutely believable. I have totally had friends do shit like that. That is completely believable. I've definitely had a lot of friends do that. I don't know how long I was out there, but thank God the boys found me, dragged me out of the snow, and said, why the fuck are you asleep outside? I responded the only way I knew how at the time. Who the fuck's been sleeping outside? What a dick. They laughed, dragged me inside, threw me on the couch, hitting my head on the arm and giving me a nice bump for the morning. And I woke up the next morning looking around and seeing that a lot of the new people and younger people at the party had left a landmine of puke puddles. And at some point, my pants and boxers had been removed and there was a nice smiley face on my balls. I've done that. I'm sorry to say, I have done that. It's really funny. It is. It is funny. I have done that to a friend. Look, I didn't bring the pen and I didn't remove the pants, but I have definitely put the mustache on. 100%. 100%. It was a long time ago. We were young. It's the 90s. It's fine. I found my boxers, but never found my shorts and left before people woke up, so I didn't have to help clean up. When I got home and walked through the door with just my boxers on, my dad laughed, said he didn't want to know, handed me his breakfast. Oh, what a dad! He gave me his breakfast and started making a fresh batch of his own. We sat on the couch watching some UFC, talking shit about the night before and what happened. And that's where I told him, girls fucking suck. He said, son, I have a story for you. Something you did that you might not remember. And he told me that story. Chat, if you would like that story, let me know. No, you're done. You're out. But I'm telling you now, girls suck. They kill WoW, but I like them. Thank you so much, Preach and Chat, for the last 3 weeks. I hope this was a good wrap up to my tale. And I'm not as interested. Oh, this is a dig at you guys. I am not as interested if you think I'm an asshole or not. I just want to know, were my drama times worth it? Thank you, and I'll see all you boys in Classic. Well, that's an answer for the chat, right? I think we definitely had fun with it over the last 3 weeks. I think we had some fun. No, guilty. I think they were worth the tale. I do think they were worth the tale. And as we are 2 minutes past 5 p.m. here in Manchester in the UK, that will be the end of this week's Drama Time. So that is the culmination of 3 weeks of tales. Liar, liar, pants on fire. I do believe you definitely fell asleep in the snow, though. That sounds like something you would do. I feel like I know you now. I feel like you are Moses and you fall asleep in the snow. I think that's the situation there. I think that's it. I'm going to love you and leave you. I will see you again on Monday, I think. I might stream the raid on Sunday. I don't know. I might stream the raid on Sunday, but I'm 50-50 on it. Other than that, have a great weekend, guys. Do something fun with your weekend. I will have videos out for you. We have raid testing coming up in just a few hours, actually, for Raden is making his return. Raden and the new Prophet boss, which hopefully will live up to expectations. So I'm going to revisit Raden for since a very long time. But I will get a video out for you, hopefully, probably tomorrow, because it takes me till like 1 a.m. to get the video done and get it out, because our raid testing doesn't finish till around midnight. So I will probably do it tomorrow. Other than that, be good. I will see you then. Bye-bye.